Hi, so my name is Shruthi. I'm a food writer at the Reykjavík Grapevine. I'm here today with Gisli Matt, the chef and owner and the brains behind Slippurinn. He's also been with Matradrykkur. He's also one of the founders, the original founders of Skál.
Yeah.
And we're here as part of the Matey Seafood Festival. And we'll see what a day in the life of Gisli Matt looks like and where it all begins.
So we're foraging seaweed right now for the menu tonight.
Okay.
This is the fourth day in a row we're here.
Okay.
Let's just go.
Okay. Is this quite typical in terms of, I was just reading that you mentioned in the book, The Garden Chef, that about 30% of everything that you do at the restaurant is foraged.
Yeah.
So is this like a typical sort of like produce shopping for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ingredients that you forage, they are, beyond organic. It's just wild, and it's just it's the best produce that you can lay your hands on.
Yeah.
So I think it's a no-brainer to use it. So we have a beautiful day now.
It is. I mean, there's barely any. It looks very foggy and misty, but it's not too cold.
Yeah.
Barely any wind.
It's perfect. Okay, be careful not to fall.
Okay.
It's very easy to fall here.
So, foraging has become such a buzzword, but you've been doing it probably longer than most, or maybe at least one of the longest in Iceland, right? If not the first. How do you, and now it's become quite the global trend.
Yeah, I was definitely not the first to do it, but like it's. I just think it's crazy not to. As I said, like this is the best produce that you can lay your hands on, and so I think everybody should be doing it. Obviously it's very time-consuming and everything, but on the other hand, it's beautiful to come out to nature every day, always, and most of the time start your day here instead of in a hot kitchen.
Look at this. This is stunning. But how do you think foraging is different in Iceland versus say anywhere else? What do you think are some of the advantages we have here on the island especially?
For now, in the Matey Festival, we have amazing chefs from all over at all the restaurants, and one of the teams are specialized foragers, and they go all around the states to forage. And what we are lucky, everything is so clean and untouched, know.
It's still wild, like you said. This is not urban foraging. We're literally here on the beach in the wild.
And the freshness of the ingredients is really good. Obviously, we have a much smaller window than they have to be foraging year-round. But everything is just so clean, and we're just privileged to have that. But it's also I forgot what I was about to say.
That's okay. We'll come back to you. Are you super worried about your other chefs who might be new to this and don't know what they're doing?
No, that's also the good thing. They cannot do anything wrong. The most wrong they do, we'll just not use it.
So tell us, what are you here to pick today? What are we looking at?
So we're gonna pick a little bit of bladderwrack, which is this seaweed here.
Yeah.
They have the texture of gherkins.
Ah.
If you want to try.
Thank you.
This is a little bit late in the season.
Okay.
A little. This is a good one here.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Look at that.
So Honey Badger is using this on one of the dishes that they have.
These have such great texture.
Amazing texture.
And somehow none of the brininess that you'd associate with anything that's coming from the ocean.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is beautiful.
And then we're also picking here nori. This is basically just nori seaweed.
Oh, that is just nori?
Yeah. It's just this.
It's like you said, like for the layman, all of this is just seaweed and some more seaweed.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, this is probably the most used seaweed in the world. Obviously, it's...
I didn't even know that we got nori, like Iceland. Like, where is the Icelandic nori?
I mean, we are used to the green color.
Okay.
But that's just because it's cooked and processed.
Yeah.
You know, for the sushi and everything.
So this one you wouldn't use it raw?
Yeah, it's actually really good raw because it's so... So
it's okay for me to try
delicate.
it?
Yeah, for sure. It's a really nice...
it has a really nice texture.
And then we're picking this.
Is that... What kind of seaweed is that?
It's called sea lettuce.
This is the sea lettuce?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And this is the same as the nori, really delicate.
Okay. But is that the one that looks so much like the moss that's like completely drenched? Is that the sea lettuce?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is just not fully grown yet. You can see like
all around here. So what are some of the things that you sort of like have to bear in mind? Like you just pointed out that like this is not fully grown yet.
Yeah.
But this is something you sort of like learn with like experience, because like with foraging, like this is not something that, you know, you learn as you go, right? Did you have to?
So, I mean, we've been coming to this place for many years now. In the beginning, we only knew what this was, dulse, you know?
Yeah.
This is dulse that has been like a tradition on the islands to pick, and in Iceland for hundreds of years
now. Yeah.
But then you just learn as you go, and then we also get help. You know, we get like seaweed specialists here to help us.
Yeah.
Like 80s.
Yeah.
And so it's also important to be open to learn from others. Mm-hmm. That are maybe experts in this field.
Yeah. How does this translate to like a restaurant setting? I mean, this seems to be so specialized. Is this really something like other people in Vestmannaeyjar get to do or do at all? Is this part of the culture in any way, or is this growing today?
Sadly, like, it's not a part of the culture anymore, I think, like for normal families, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, when I was younger, you know, my grandmother and my mother always went out seaweed foraging, and when it was good weather, dried it all in the sun. That was just the snack for the whole summer, you know?
Yeah.
And into the winter. People are definitely starting to appreciate it more and understand how important it is. Mm-hmm.
You're not the only outlier now. Like,
no.
Yeah.
But I mean, all the locals are just, you know, this guy is so strange. You know, he's always just around everywhere trying to...
But that must have certainly changed. Like now you're bringing like international chefs to like Matey, for instance. Was that a conscious decision as well? In sort of like presenting Westman Islands as like an international food destination? Yeah,
like I think through the years we're always getting better. Like the restaurants and chefs here are always getting better. And I mean, I've done a lot of pop-ups myself abroad. Mm-hmm. So it's such a good thing to get international chefs here that have like very different experience than yourself. And the cooks here. Yeah. Just see what they can do with our produce, like see it through their eyes. So basically, they just got a list of what they can use, what is in season now. Okay. And just go wild, you know. And you know, we are learning a lot from them as well, you know. So this becomes like amazing. Such a symbiotic sort of like relationship, right? Yeah.
But is that something that's going to be part of like furthering Westman Islands as a food destination again, like food festivals like this? And what other things can people expect that are like unique to Westman Islands that maybe are not like the same for like the rest of Iceland, for instance?
Yeah, I mean, so what we are trying to do, it's a project that many are working on together. So this project is the idea behind it is to bring all these both companies and people together just to see where we are, see what we can do. And I think from this is going to be a lot of different side projects. And it's just, bringing all the knowledge and everyone working together. I mean, you don't go to a lot of cities and all the chefs that run the restaurants are our best friends,
No.
So that's, and also bringing together all these huge fish companies that we have here, all the export companies. Just everyone is just on the same page of wanting to do it as good as possible.
And I guess this is also part of the thing of sort of demystifying everything that goes on here, because fishing and like the seafood industry and everything to do with the ocean is such a big part of like Iceland and its prosperity.
Yeah.
But we've never really sort of like peered behind the curtain, so to speak. You know, like the producers and the restaurateurs sort of like coming together with the diner.
Yeah.
That's like one part of the experience that is like so unique as well.
And also like almost every person at some stage in their life have been working in the fish factories here. They've seen the cable and the roes and the mackerel, but nobody has tasted it.
Yeah, wow.
It's just work and it's just distant from them.
Yeah.
And to have a menu like this and getting other chefs with us, you can encourage people to try it out, and they're just like, oh, it's actually good.
Yeah, yeah.
And because, I mean, and same can be done in a lot of companies in Iceland. We're maybe just producing, but we cannot see the full potential until we know it completely.
Yeah, there's such a distance between like everything that happens somehow from like what's happening to your plate.
Yeah.
But then you're sort of like closing that gap now.
Yeah.
And it reintroducing people to like things that already are around us.
Yeah, and try to let people like understand it. I mean, many locals here, they just think what we do at Slippurinn is just weird,
Yeah,
But in the end of the day, if you really think about it, it's not weird at all. It's just, it should be normal.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, like, you're sort of like bringing together the adage that what grows together goes together, and sort of reintroducing people to something new and old both at the same time. And I think that's wonderful. Thank you for making the time and, walking us around your little garden here. Yeah.
So sea truffles here?
Ooh, here are the sea truffles. That's so hard to spot them. How did you even see them so far?
It's endless of it here.
Wow. This thing is just so fascinating. I've been seeing it more and more on like the other Nordic menus now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just like sort of clip them in whole like that.
Yeah,
and then
just
you get
at the restaurant.
to separate them.
So we have a great name for it at the restaurant.
Wait, so is this whole thing the sea truffle seaweed on its own, and it's just this part that you use off the plant?
Yeah, just this.
Oh, wow.
But in the beginning of May, these bulbs are really fragile, so we make like what we call seaweed capers out of them.
Oh, so the seaweed capers come out of these?
Yeah.
I actually thought it comes out of like the bladder.
Yeah.
Seaweed.
Yeah. The bladderwrack.
Yeah, the bladderwrack.
No, it's actually we call it mermaid pubes at the restaurant.
Very romantic, Gisli. Very romantic name. But this is crazy. I did not realize that the capers and the sea truffles come out of the same seaweed.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
But actually, a funny story about this seaweed.
Yeah.
I learned about this because I saw a conversation on Facebook with Leif Sørensen and a seaweed farmer. So Leif is the guy that spotted this first and said, yeah, it tastes a little bit like truffle.
I mean...
And then, you know...
Is the most apt description. And it's funny because all of the seaweed have such different texture.
Yeah.
They're not just visually different. They all have a different texture and varying sort of like flavor profiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a super versatile ingredient. I mean, to think that you came out here and you have like 6 different kinds of things already in your basket. It's incredible.
and we could go all day, you know.
Yeah.
but also it shows how small the community is. Like I saw it at the on Facebook where Leif was writing to some seaweed farmer.
Yeah.
And then I talked to Magnus Nilsson, and then that went there, and just like within a year, like everybody knew about it. You know,
it's incredible. We're seeing it more and more on like restaurant menus now.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
And also, like the price for it now is the same as black truffles.
Whoa.
But dried.
Yeah,
but it takes. I mean, after you dry this, it's not very heavy.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
To have 100 grams of this dried, it takes a lot. But still, I mean, who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Exactly.
And this is just like all the way
there. You just have miles and miles of this, especially when you consider the complete coastline.
Yeah.
Is that something that's also different? Like the seaweed here would be different from like other parts of the country, or?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is there like a little bit of like a local?
I mean, like 80s, the seaweed specialist, she came here and she's gone through all the beaches around Iceland. And she was telling us how lucky we were because almost all the seaweed in Iceland
is concentrated sort of like in West.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, I mean, we're so lucky.
I mean, you're just sitting on like, this is a real treasure trove. I mean, when you brush it aside.
Yeah, it's
this
just
is
endless.
Just dense. It's just endless. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, I thought we had done sort of like the ending there and we could fuse it, but we can do it. Yeah. So I think we sort of like ended on that note, but really, Gisli, thank you for making the time and taking us out on a first-hand experience of what it is like to be foraging like minutes away from where you live and then to turn it into a special meal. I mean, this is a gift. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hvað segir ég komið með þig það? I have more than them.
I'm like, what did you do? You came down here before him.
Where did you find this?
On just that one rock. Just this one here.